We ain't bring. If you start that there, you ain't gonna never get invited back.
Take off,
brother.
dog.
Bring that chair up there. You can sit on top of the table. You can stand on top of the table if you want to.
You can take this seat, cause
I can't see him.
you know
down
what?
there.
I'm a bag out.
Whatever. Come on. We live. Let's go. Whatever we
We
doing.
not live over there. Oh, you live? Oh, hey y'all.
Let's do it. We gotta get Rob Ruby in the house. Yeah. What's going on, St. Louis? You're listening to the Freeman Bosley Jr. Show on KTZ 1600. Hallelujah AM. Well, we got a good show with us today.
This morning
And
gonna
here
be
this morning we got a good show.
A hot show.
Got our main man though,
What's up?
Anthony Shaheed. How we doing, my brother?
I'm feeling black-tastic, man. I feel good tonight.
Are you ready to talk black to him?
I'm not gonna talk back to him as long as we talk black.
All right,
Assalamu
then.
alaikum, brothers and
And
sisters.
of course, you know our sister Felicia.
Good morning,
Hampton,
sister.
always putting something together.
Good
for
morning,
us.
my sister.
We can't
Good morning.
move without her. Can't get a damn thing done without.
Go on,
her.
give her title. No, man. Slow it up. Give her title. What is her? She's executive producer. What did you
Of
give?
everything. She's the executive.
But you know what she told me a few minutes ago?
What?
She said, well, you know, once you play like you running something. I said, whoa, play like oh, that's all good.
And you know what? The thing about it is she's an executive without pay.
That's what I like.
No, I don't like it. I wish it could be better, but everybody here works
volunteer.
without pay.
Oh, yeah, it's
See
a
what I'm
volunteer.
saying? And of course, you know, our trusty
Legendary.
producer, legendary
Legendary.
Kevin Kev.
Brother
What's going on?
Kevin Kip. Now, good morning, my brother.
Yeah, right there. And now we're joined by
Wait.
Councilwoman /
Let me
Senator.
add. I get paid. I just don't get paid with that cheddar.
Oh, okay.
But
You have no pecuniary.
come on. Say that word again.
No pecuniary.
Pecuniary. I heard it.
That's what that's called. All right, there. And of course, we are tuned in and everybody's
I'm
looking
excited.
and listening, and we're going to have a great show. But we've got to introduce
Oh.
Senator Councilwoman Rita Days is in the house with us today.
Oh.
Yes.
Good morning.
And
Good morning. How are you?
Good morning, my
Talking
sister.
about all
right.
that hot stuff that's going on in the county, huh?
Yeah, oh, it's hot.
And then, of course, this brother here really needs no introduction.
Oh, no.
But last time he was on the air with us, he told us we learned some things. He's always educating and
Yes.
teaching Brother Shaheed and I something about the radio business and how to promote and how to get information.
My son, Rob Ruger.
Brother
Brother Rob.
How y'all
Ruger.
doing? How
Did
y'all
I say it
doing?
right?
Yes, yes,
Hello,
yes.
my brother.
How you doing?
Good morning, my brother.
Rob,
Good morning.
Rob Ruger has you got a website and got a podcast, and you have how many listeners from time to time?
So basically, I'm a social media influencer. I'm a
Influencer.
media mogul. Like
Okay, right.
they hire me to cover all of the events across the country. So
Okay.
All the
I'm
red
excited.
carpet stuff
I
and
haven't
everything.
gotten a podcast yet, but I am looking to put together a show for
Time to time,
myself.
You have how many views? As many.
Oh man, I done millions.
millions.
Millions
Ain't no
at
secret.
a time.
And I feel good saying he's my son. So this is a good show this morning, man. I'm excited, but really about the councilwoman here and the stuff that's been happening in St. Louis County. But we got a lot of stuff to cover before we get to them, though, man.
Yes, we do. I don't know how people feel about this. Some may be happy, some may rejoice, some may feel sad. But Chief Hayden announced his resignation.
This
I think
week.
It'll be sometime this week, but it'll be effective sometime next month.
I think in February, maybe February. I think it was
I thought
February.
he said February.
Yeah.
February?
But I want to see how that tie into what we're talking about, because, you know, they're looking for, out there in St. Louis County also, too, aren't they, Sister Rita?
That's correct. They're looking for a chief. Mary Barton decided to exit, and we are now looking for a chief of police for St. Louis County.
Well, how does it look for the acting chief?
Well, the acting chief is Gregory.
Who is
He's
it?
Gregory.
let's
He's
get
a
you-
black man, and I don't remember his first name. You always call him
So that
Lieutenant
must
Colonel
mean that he
Gregory.
has not made that big of an impression on you.
Yeah, for I know it's a whole.
So speaking to the mic.
Yeah, speaking.
If you can't- that must mean you have not. He has not made that big of an impression on you. If you can't remember his
Rob.
name.
Well,
Huh?
I know it's Gregory. That's all.
Wait,
That's all I can say. I don't know what his rank
I know it's not
is.
Lieutenant Colonel.
No, we only have one lieutenant colonel. I think that's Troy Doyle.
I know it's not him.
It's
And
not
that's
Troy Doyle.
that's who I'm. And I'm speaking for me. I'm not speaking for nobody else. I know who the best man for that job is. We need somebody who's gonna go out there and do a job for everybody. But I hate when people go out there and act like they forget about black folks that's out there. You know, because they cater to the white folks all the time because they just feel as though if it's white, it's all right.
And Troy Doyle is a name that everybody knows.
Absolutely,
You didn't have
and
any
even
problems
I didn't have
coming
any
up with his
problem
name,
knowing
did you?
Troy
None.
Doyle because we
None.
worked together
Zero.
on a number of occasions, and actually Troy Doyle's rank was over Mary Barton's, and so they went under Troy to get a chief, and so
They dipped down.
absolutely to get. I
she
think
white,
she's
though.
the first woman, and
White
she is a
woman.
white woman. But you know, all of us were baffled by that decision. How in the world do
They
you?
say if it's
go
white,
under
it's all
that?
right.
So
Huh?
Well, that's because
So-
of Sam Page
Yeah.
and some of the old boy good work. Remember when you on this station here, because I see how a lot of people be looking and they want to know what we talk like this because we free. The bottom line, Clayton is not ready for a black man, but they're going to have to deal with it now. And the only reason they got, what's the other guy that's the intern now? Is it,
Chief Gregory.
I'm going to say
Chief
Gregory
Mhm.
because they want somebody they can control. They don't mind if they got to have a black person now, but it got to be somebody that when they tell him to jump, he don't ask how high.
And that's unfortunate that we're still living in those times.
Well-
I mean, it really is that you can't have the best person. And you know, Troy has a lawsuit against that because it was virtually promised to him.
Good.
And then all of a sudden, then you know, he
They
the,
said we
the
lied.
board said no, we're gonna do that. We want a different direction. So it's and he does. He has a lawsuit. So we're not seeing where that's going. But you know, it's not good. Let's just put it like this. And this is not only the first lawsuit that we have. We've got about 5 or 6 lawsuits, racial discrimination and age discrimination and all that good stuff.
Well,
So
without lawsuits where people got hundreds of thousands of dollars.
Millions of
People
dollars.
got money, big money.
Yeah.
When black people couldn't get nothing.
Yeah, well, that's
Yeah.
different.
well,
Yeah.
when Chief Barton left, she left with $290,000 in
Oh,
her
Yeah,
pocket.
yeah, well, yeah.
Wow,
Yeah, that was a struggle. She had to kind of walk out of there with that. Then she walk up out of there with that kind
I
of
think they just
money.
wrote one check.
Yeah,
Okay,
one
let
check,
it do.
yeah,
Yeah,
well,
I think
know
that's the way it
we'll be
happened.
going to a break shortly, but you know what I'm concerned about, Mary, is how it seemed like since they're working together, city and county, that's one of the reasons I wanted to, you know, the councilwoman here. It seemed like it's just to me, it's real weird that now all of a sudden the chief of police is stepping down, and now they got to have a chief in that county. And I'm always concerned when when Sam Page is in anything. And I think he worked. Do Tashara work with him pretty good? Merritt Jones worked with him pretty good. Councilwoman.
Sometimes you hear that they have managed to collaborate on certain different issues.
Okay.
So I would necessarily say that they are working together well, but they do wind up on the same side of issues from time to time. And be honest with you, most times.
Well, that's. I don't know how good that is. Dude, how good does she work with you? How good is she working with the council then?
Well, she doesn't work with the council at all.
Whoa.
I have not heard from the mayor of St. Louis, but again, that was she works with the county executive, and I guess on that level. So I would probably be on my level, be working with Louis Reed.
Okay.
He's chair of the president of the board of
Yes,
aldermen,
ma'am.
and I am the chair of the St. Louis County. So so I think that's the alignment there.
That's your counterpart.
Correct.
Yeah, that is your counterpart. Well, it looks like we're coming up on a break, you know, and
But I'm thankful that we got them in this morning, live in the studio.
Yeah.
The honorable, I might have to say honorable Rob Booger, and then also our councilwoman. That's pretty big, man.
it's pretty big. And Brother Ruger, we don't want to dominate the conversation. You are a man that is in possession of many talents, and we just want you to weigh in. Well, you know, feel free, just like one of the gang.
Definitely.
You know,
Definitely. Thank you.
Just
Thank
one
you.
of you are one of the gang. You like family to us, and
Thank you.
we just want you. We want people to feel your presence. That's what we want. We want them to feel your presence.
Yes.
So it's time to go to a break,
Yes.
ladies and gentlemen. You're listening to the Freeman Bosley Jr. Show on KTZ 1600 AM. Keep it on loud. Quit praying. Ah! Oh!
So we still live, brothers
Yeah.
and sisters. We on break for a minute,
Okay.
but we keep it live here. What we do, we don't sit and just play like it's not real. What I love about this show here, Councilwoman and Brother Rob, we don't go over nothing. Our chemistry is here. When it comes to talking about what's happening in our community, we feel good about it. We don't fake like we feel good about it. And it just comes out natural. And that's what people say. Because one thing I'm learning, Brother Kevin Care, people are saying they want to hear real things. They don't want to keep on hearing things that's like a smoke and mirror.
And we want to pay close attention to Brother Ruger, because he is, like he said, a media influencer. And so if he's a media influencer and you are, we want to try to learn from your tutelage. You see what I'm saying? So you can impart some of that knowledge to me and Brother Shahid, because we just wayward and we get in front of the mic and we just talk. So we need your influence we need your talents as a media influencer to tell us how to be more effective or most effective.
I understand. What I think is, like, at my age, we're starting to get more into politics. You know what I'm saying? And what's going on with the community, because it's starting to affect us more, because we're home owners, and we want to just make sure that the city and the county is, helping us be the best citizens that we can be. And below us, they haven't gotten there yet. Yeah. Now you find some of them that you find some of them who want to get involved because they want to be activists and this new generation.
Well, but new energy.
It be about certain things that's going on, certain issues where you gotta touch bases on all the issues, everything that's going on. And so I try to bring a little more light to it. I was working with Lewis on his campaign and just seeing some things that was going on, you know what I'm saying, and learning some things. So I'm excited about just the political field. I see certain things going on, and I see, how certain things are just not working how we hoped it to.
But we have, to be honest with you, we have more black elected officials in office now than we've ever had in the history of this town.
Yeah, but that's a problem there.
Right, but we have very little going on now.
Yeah, but that's no good.
Well, I will tell you that I'm so excited to hear him say that in terms of being younger people.
Yes.
I can't do this forever, and it has to be someone who I can pass the torch to, somebody who's willing to learn, want to learn.
Yes, ma'am.
And that's happening in Jefferson City. It's happening here, happening in the county. You have younger people. I'm just hoping that they all get involved in that and stay the course. You have to. It can't be a one issue person or candidate, something like that. You really have to, cover, as you said, cover a lot of things, cover a lot of areas.
So we're ready to come back on.
All right, let's hit it.
20 minutes, man.
Well. Welcome back, St. Louis. You're listening to the Freeman Bosley Jr. Show on KTZ 1600 AM. Hallelujah AM. That's what BJ wants me to say all the time. Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
You gotta get that in there.
Okay.
And we're talking. We're blessed to have Councilwoman Rita Days, who is the chairman of the St. Louis County Council. She's here with us this morning, and we've got our good friend Rob Ruger, who is a media influencer. I like that word, man. A media influencer. I got to dig down in that just a little bit more and see what all that entails. And we got Brother Anthony Shahid here with us. We just basically just getting underway here, but we want to talk a little bit about the county. We talk about the city all the time, but here we want to give you a little flavor of what's going on in the county.
So, man, I want to ask her a question about this $50 million. I've been hearing some about the $50 million that you and Councilwoman Webb is working on. Is that true? Or,
Yes, that's absolutely true.
Okay.
We just had abysmal response to the North County in terms of the monies and the COVID monies and the first $173 million, and now we're under another $193 million, which we will be getting. And so the first $173 went to the county executive, and he controlled all that money.
What did he do with it?
That was a major problem. It was a concern. And so this money, we've decided that no, the council will make the decisions on what happens with the 193. And so that's caused for a little friction here and there.
A little friction.
But the $50 million is coming out of that, particularly for North County.
It comes out of the 193.
It's coming out of the 193.
Okay.
That's correct. So $50 million of that, and that's a base. We may go up. We haven't decided. So I tell everybody who's in this kind of business, you need to count. You can count to 4, you can get everything you want because there's only 7 members, okay? So
4 in the county, got 15 in the city.
But so we have put together a plan for North County looking at all the health disparities. No one's looked at that. We're looking at environmental issues. If you notice, a lot of the areas there are contaminated. Wellston is contaminated. Kinloch is a major contamination site. And so we're looking at how those health outcomes in those particular areas are coming forward, and they haven't been addressed. So as we looked at COVID and what it did to, or what it's doing to the African American community, we have a lot of comorbidity issues that nobody's addressing. That's diabetes, that's being obesity. You look at hypertension. You look at the ground and air pollution. It's just all these things that have exacerbated the outcome of COVID. And so our plan is to address some of that. We want to have 2 vans because we want people to be able to come, have the vans to go to the people, rather than, people have to come into the clinics. It's a lot of people.
Mobile units.
Absolutely, mobile units. Mobile units, and the vans that will go out into the communities. At one time, we did have that, and for some reason, it was taken away. We don't know what happened to it. Nobody had, all of a sudden, everybody gets amnesia when you start talking about things like this.
They got COVID.
But I don't know if COVID makes you lose your memory, does it?
Well, it's still under study with the long-term ramifications of this thing.
Right. You're exactly right. Right. So, but I will tell you, we've had just a terrible outcome in terms of the COVID numbers, and our community, we have about 25% of the people in North County have been vaccinated.
That's where you are now?
That's where we are now. We have the highest number of children in the 1st and the 4th districts that have been vaccinated. And I'm trying to figure out how did parents get their children there and they didn't go and do, the vaccinations. But that's another story. But yeah, we are planning, and we want to make sure that this $50 million is targeted to North County and North County residents, and to help improve the outcomes of our citizens out there.
Let me ask you one other question,
No, you go ahead.
About Kinloch, because at one point didn't St. Louis City own like 57% of Kinloch when they did that with the airport?
Yes, when they did the buyout,
right.
They have 57% of the land in Kinloch belongs to the city of St. Louis.
Because it looks terrible.
It's a wreck.
Yeah,
it's a wreck. People go out and
dump,
and then other people go out. Yeah. We don't know. It could be bodies out there somewhere. We really don't know that. But again, that's where people came from the city and did all the dumping of the toxic materials. Wow. And they took it out there and dumped it in Kinloch and places around that. And it's really bad. And there's a lot of cases of cancer, people dying from those kinds of issues, and it's just bad. So we want to address that too. Because we should have to live like that. People should not have to bring up their children in an environment like that.
I remember Kinloch too. I remember when Kinloch was really popping. I can remember that myself 50 years ago. That place was a nice town, and as Muslims we would always go over there and sell our fish in the papers. And matter of fact, they received us so warm. There was a group called the Harold family used to stay there, and they had a side company. Reverend Harold was really known out in that area, and he was a worker. He wasn't just a pastor that called himself a pastor, but he was always deep working in the community, and we worked with him very closely. But I can remember how, that place was really popping, and now to see it now, it looked like a graveyard.
It's very, very disturbing. Yes. People have to live like that. People have to live across the street from a dump. Yes. We had a dump in Wellston, and it was interesting because in Wellston, these were properties that were owned by St. Louis County. And people were dumping on those lands, and St. Louis County was not taking care of that. Right. So I think last month I got with the partnership. I said, you know what, you got to fix this. You have to fix this. And so the partnership got a group of people together, got dumpsters. Then they found out the access points to that, and they blocked those off so that people couldn't bring in there. Exactly, with those big trucks and do the dumping. So we're working on this one at a time.
Yes, ma'am.
That was called Lulu Heights. If anybody knows about Lulu Heights, that's what that was. So now we're working on trying to tear down some of those buildings that are falling. We don't know who own, but certainly if St. Louis County owns them,
yes, ma'am,
then that's going to be my next move. And you're going to have to tear down that house or figure out what you're going to do with it. So.
Well, tell me about the $50 million. Now, have you all already carved it out of the $1 193? Did you vote on it? Did it
Yes,
pass?
we have voted. We have voted on it, and it is up for final vote on Tuesday,
Okay.
I believe.
Okay.
And so that's
So it'll be
it.
truly agreed to and finally
finally
passed.
passed.
Okay.
That's
All
correct.
right.
Mhm.
Okay. And then, how does it look in terms of disbursement? Is he going to give you an argument with letting the money go, or does he still have that opportunity even after you've passed it to not make it available to you?
Well, we have 4 votes.
Mm-hmm.
And he does not have the money, by the way. It is in an account
Oh,
that
wait.
the council will say, we want 50 million to go here, 17 here, whatever the amount is. We also added some money for our jail justice services. We got we're trying to get incentives because we don't have enough corrections officers.
Yes.
And so we're offering a $500 bonus
Wow.
if you will come in.
Oh, you can give a little more than 500.
Well, let us see what
$500.
let us see what 500 will do.
Well,
And then
think about an athlete or something like that that's signing to come on your team.
well,
You
they
wanna
have
give somebody a
they'll
little bit
have
more than that.
193 million. We can't give them that, okay? No, we
But
can't
you,
do
but
that.
you got a little bit more than 500.
Well, what we do is so far we
Okay.
have the 500 that's it's a signing bonus, and then longevity you get another 500 as long as you stay there on a quarterly basis, I believe it is.
Okay.
But I think it's a good start because we didn't have any. They originally asked for $2 an hour, and so
Increase?
and that's what they asked for, and I said, $2 an hour. What happens when that time the ARPA funds run out?
Okay.
Because these are one-time
all
funds.
these are one-time
Absolutely,
funds.
these are
that-
one-time
that you
funds.
would be using to
Absolutely.
pay
So-
people's salaries.
And I don't
Okay.
want to be around if we have to bring back that $2, okay?
They sure wouldn't be able to understand it.
I don't think they would understand it, and I
Brother
wouldn't
Rob.
understand
They
it.
want it now.
That's right.
Just give it to
That's
them.
right.
Once
So you
it's in.
get your chunk of money right now. Let's move on.
So is that the only allocations of the funds? Is just certain things like what about like housing and people trying to buy houses in the
Well, buying houses, we have not entered into that. Now, what we do have is our response to the evictions.
Okay.
And we have a pot of money that we haven't spent yet, and that's to go to rental, people who are renting, their utilities, and it also goes to the landlord. So the landlords and the tenant have to work together in order to get that, and I think that's up to a year of utilities and rent, things like that, because you have to recognize if you put a moratorium on there, the landlord still has to pay its bills.
Right.
And so hopefully this
Well-
money will assist with the
Right.
landlords in paying their bills as well.
Okay. Right.
Okay. Well, it seems like you all are trying to move in the right direction.
Trying very hard,
But-
very, very hard.
But in government, I call it's like being in charge of a herd of turtles.
Okay.
You have an idea of where the leader, which is you now, the leader has an idea of where he wants to lead the people to, and what direction he or she wants to lead the people in. But it's the content within the structure, like the other elected officials that are piddling around, fooling around. You be trying to say, "Come on, let's go, let's get going," and they're just moving real slow and everything, So
Well,
it's-
I call that the devil's in the details.
Yes,
The
yes.
devil's in the details.
Yes, it
And
is.
so we have to get down and make sure we get all
Have
of
to
that
drill
ironed
down.
out.
Gotta
Absolutely,
drill down.
absolutely, drill down to the lowest level, and then come up.
So I want to hit on somebody we love very much with Sister Hazel Irving. And I just know how that had to impact y'all because you only had a few on the board anyway, and then her not being there, that had to be devastating.
It was traumatic for me
Yes.
because I'm here because she picked me.
Yes, I heard you
She
say
asked
that.
me to
Wow.
run for this seat. I
Wow.
was as far away from this as I could possibly go, and she reeled me back in. But it was traumatic, and I mean. We all knew that at some point this would
Yes.
happen, but it doesn't matter. You're
Well,
never
you're not
prepared
prepared.
for
No,
it
you're
whenever
not.
it does happen.
You can't
but
get
I will
prepared
tell
for
you
it.
this, that while she was there, and she was a fighter to the end, by the way, but while she was there, I mean, she would just give me, you have to watch this, you have to do this, you have to, and she guided me through the first couple of years. She guided me through that process, and was still doing that even before she died.
Wow.
And her presence was just everywhere. I mean, I am actually in my office. she gave me her chair. So every time I sit in a chair, I said, "This is Hazel's chair."
Feel the weight.
All right, I feel the weight. I feel the weight.
Feel the weight.
But she was a wonderful woman. Really, she was very passionate about her community.
Yes.
And so that's part of who I am as well. When I served in the legislature, but there was a community that
Yes.
drove me every day to do what I needed to do for my community. It never been about me, because that wasn't enough for me. All right.
I got a lot of questions. I can't help this here because I'm hearing about Sam Page is somebody I kept my radar on. When I got my radar on somebody, I like to keep it on because I got a loud mouth and I'm free. Discrimination cases, I'm hearing, and I don't know, I'm asking you, maybe you know or not, 6 discrimination cases out there right now against him. Is that true?
At least.
Wow.
That is
So
at
I'm
least.
hearing stuff right then.
You're hearing it correctly.
Yeah, I'm hearing it right
And
then because I got my radar on him.
discrimination, and I even different departments. We've had 2 or 3 coming out of the police department. We have 1 out of the animal care and control. Actually, Hazel has a suit that I think is still going on because I think she arranged for her
And her assistant too, somebody told.
exactly. She just filed one.
Somebody
So
told me
she
that.
just filed one. So I don't know how
Wow.
you do it when you have your lawsuit to go into your will or go into your estate or something like that.
Somebody, probably a husband, would be appointed the personal representative.
Okay.
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 Carry on.
Okay.
That's if it has already been filed.
Yes. And I think
If
that
it has
she
been
knew.
filed.
Yes, she knew her situation.
Okay.
And so she wanted to make sure that it did not
Just disappear.
without her. And so she did that. But yeah, you're right. There are quite a few.
Because I'm just, and this is just what I'm hearing. People always come to me telling me stuff, because they feel that I can put it out there along with being on the show here. And they said he's just racist, just straight downright. And I just didn't like how he did Sister Hazel because she pushed for him, and as soon as he got in there, he gave her the foot.
I think everybody recognizes that.
Yeah.
Everybody knows that's what happened.
Yeah.
So, that was unfortunate because I know Hazel is the kind of person, she didn't hold grudges.
No. she sure
And if
didn't.
I can help you,
Yes,
I will.
yes.
And I think that he took advantage of that, and I told her, I said, now, Hazel, if you want your seat back, I will step out. I will gladly step out and let you do it. She said, no, I need you there. And that's the last what she said. I need you there.
That's beautiful.
I got a question. What is the difference between the mask mandates in the city and the county?
Right.
Well, these St. Louis County filed the Attorney General filed a lawsuit against St. Louis County for the mask mandates, and they continue to talk about the mandates. And if you look at the health order, it had not one word in there says anything about mandates. So people were getting all up in arms and excited about, you voted against the mandate, you voted against the mandate. People have to look at what's underneath that. There's no way first of all you can enforce a mandate. There are no mandate police, and they're not. But we had. But so if you have something to mandate, you have to have some teeth in it.
Yes, ma'am.
So we said, you know what? First, you have to come and talk to the council.
Yes.
That's law now. House Bill 271 says you have to inform the council so that they know what you're doing.
You all just
Okay.
passed that?
Yes.
Okay.
And so
271?
House Bill 271. Yes, I think that's it.
You all
That's
call
correct.
them House bills in the?
No. That came from Jefferson City.
Okay,
That was a bill
okay.
in Jefferson City.
Okay.
Because they were noticing that a lot of the executives had overreach.
right.
They
That's right,
overreach
that's right.
in terms of, they're just putting these things down and they're not talking to anybody. They just operating on their own.
Right.
And so Jefferson
Wait.
City said, no, you need to talk to somebody else
Yeah.
about this. So the Thursday before we had that vote, we had a 4-hour meeting. I started at 4. I think we ended at 9. And,
This is where the people came
and
out?
This is where, no, they come out every Tuesday.
Okay.
But every Tuesday.
They look forward
Every
to it
Tuesday,
now.
every
It's like,
Tuesday
this is where the
they come
action
in,
is.
They gonna tell us what they think, and that's on Tuesday. But that day before, we had about a 3 or 4 hour meeting, and that's all we wanted. You come and let us ask you questions. Let us understand what you're trying to do.
Makes sense.
Explain it to us. This is just not arbitrarily
Right.
and do
Yeah.
something.
Yeah.
So he did that. And with that, I was able to go ahead and support that. Now, in the meantime, though, one of the other councilwomen had an actual ordinance for masking mandates, and in that order, there was a penalty phase in there. And I don't think very many people even paid attention to that.
Wow.
And I said, well,
For
nobody's
violating, for not wearing a mask.
exactly. And so, well, I don't think the police are going to bother with, with the mask. I said, listen, all you're doing is giving a police officer another opportunity to come into the black community, okay, and harass people. Now, that may not happen in your community. I understand that. But I would tell you, you stop for a light out and, oh, you're not wearing a mask. Or you walking down the street, you're not wearing a mask.
Yes.
It was just another opportunity in my mind.
Yes.
Okay.
Well, you know what black folks are going through.
Well, yeah. Well, in India, when they have the curfew and they had the mask, there is mask mandate in India. You get caught outside in violation. All police officers had little whips, little sticks, and they beat you. And they make you go beat you till you get away. Till you go back in the house.
That sounds like your father talking about that cane.
Yeah, caning. Yeah, that's what it was. Yeah, they cane you.
I would recommend that for people in St. Louis.
You
all
say
right?
you would recommend
I would not.
Oh, okay.
I would not recommend that
Well,
for
maybe it's
people in
needed.
St. Louis. So, but yeah, that's the gist of that. So we voted on that, and now we have to take that because there was a temporary restraining order against implementation of that came from the judge. And so they're going to take this, this vote that we see and see if the restraining order can be lifted. So that's where we are with that.
Okay. Now, what I wanted to ask you is, it appears that there's a real disconnect between the council and the county executive. Just like in the city, it's a disconnect between the mayor
Ain't no secret.
and the board of aldermen.
Yes.
Does the county executive have people on his staff that he sends over to the county council to explain, like you say, explain bills and things of that nature so that when stuff does come up for a vote, you all are a little bit more informed? Does he have you call them lobbyists?
Yeah, well, I just actually put that in place.
Okay.
Because I said you're asking me to pass legislation
Right.
that I don't know
Right.
anything about.
Right.
Wow.
And generally my name is on it if it doesn't apply to a specific district.
Yes, ma'am.
Then that's my name on that.
Right. Yes.
And so I said, no, I need a cheat sheet. That's what I call it. You tell me what this does and how much is it going to cost and where the cost is going
Right.
to come
Absolutely.
from. All these kinds of, that's information that I need.
Yeah.
I may not support this.
It's information that you're supposed
Absolutely,
to have.
Yeah.
absolutely. So we've just started that because
Okay.
usually it just came down and they attach a few letters or something like that, and it was just
So
it
they
was
didn't
not
have it
thorough.
at first
It was
then.
not thorough at all, and so but now it's much better. It's much better. But there is, again, there is
Disconnect.
this issue that some members of the council feel that I'm overstepping my bounds when I ask these kinds of
Ain't that
questions.
something?
But I said I don't put my name on anything.
Well, that's what a leader does.
Anything
Yeah.
that I don't know what it is. So
Leaders ask questions.
Yeah.
When you're supposed to ask
All right.
questions because if you expecting people to follow your leadership.
absolutely, absolutely. If there's anything that I think may be a challenge, then I say, well, we might need to change this.
Okay.
It creates a good back and
Well, it
forth
does.
conversation for us. So.
What can you get out in the last? We got about a minute and a half. Is there anything you need to get out for us that we need to know that
Well, I just think that people need to participate more. I would love for my people to come to the meetings more. I rarely have anyone from my district to come to the meetings, and they may be listening, on the YouTube or something like this. But sometimes it helps just to
Yes.
look out and see a
it does.
few faces of color,
Of course.
if you will, out there, and just kind of.
And are you saying that they are not as much?
They're not as much,
Yeah.
no.
'cause
No.
we was
Well,
cutting on two.
that's how we are. Though. We'll rant and rave and complain, fall all out in the damn street, but ain't nobody showing up at the damn council meeting. But the white people are.
They are.
Oh yeah.
They are.
And you know what? They ain't making no noise either.
Nope, I will tell you.
Yeah.
But that's really the only thing that I just love to be more participating.
Yeah.
Participants that come that look like me and can see what's happening with government.
I know when me and
Younger
brothers-
people like this, absolutely.
When me and Zakiya would come, they didn't really like us out
No,
there.
yeah.
They didn't never like us out there.
Well, see, I wasn't the chair at the time. If you recall, I was not the chair at the time. So, all right.
Well,
You're quite
We
welcome.
want to thank you so much for coming in. That we're honored this morning to have you in there.
Really.
And you can come anytime you want to. Any information you can help us with, you give it to us. We'll get out here.
and we'd like to have you back.
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you. You know, I've been once before, and then you said, come back. Here I
And
am.
here you are. That's
All
right.
right,
And so I'm
okay.
saying it again. Come back. So you've been here 2 times
I've
in
been
what?
2
3
times.
months?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
We like it.
So,
All right.
that
Ladies
sounds
and
good.
gentlemen, you're listening to the Freeman Bosley Jr. Show on KTZ 1600 AM. Keep it on lock. Quit
Praying.
Oh!
we have until now, when the
It's a
senator
free-
get brothers and sisters. Now we on break now. And I can tell you for a fact.
Call a man.
The honorable American. I say this right
Please,
now. Come
go
on,
ahead.
come on now.
I just get so excited.
Yeah, but I know, but it's not your
I
show
just
though.
get so
But it's not
excited
your
when-
show
I
though.
get so excited when
Yeah.
she's here.
It's
All
the
right,
honorable senator. She's also a council. I mean, what's that? A community woman? The committee woman?
yeah,
I'm
but-
trying to get all her
Not so
titles before
much.
she comes. Look at she
at
like that man.
You know who
Our
it is,
honorable
right?
sister, we love you. This is your show. We're going to go all the way, y'all. In 1
Carla
minute,
May.
you're going to see Carla May coming around the corner.
Right.
She be coming around the corner when she come.
Okay.
She be coming around the corner when she come.
Coming around the bridge.
So, brothers and sisters,
Oh my God, no, that's not me.
be patient with
Really,
us.
girl, how many
We're still
people
live. We're on break for right now, getting ready for the next segment. So we just appreciate you. We want to make sure we get this information out. And there's so much. Go ahead. I'm sorry, Mary Boss. You was trying to say something.
I'm just, you gotta
Well, you know
let
you
them
got. I better
transition out.
Okay, so we transitioning out so she can come on
Oh, you
in.
get up, huh? Okay. Just text her. Okay, that sounds good. So how you doing?
That's
I'm doing
what she's
good. How you
supposed to be
doing?
doing. No.
I don't know. Good question.
Quiet, young people.
We left the trail. I'm picking up the torch. All right.
So we're live. Everything can be heard. Just so we clear. I know. Just I like to do a whole lot of reminders. So, brothers and sisters, I guess we can at least talk about one business. We can talk about Rise and Shine.
Wait a minute. Wait.
Can we talk about Rise
No,
and
not
you-
yet. Not, look,
Yeah,
Aries
prayer
first.
line.
Can you do Aries first?
Come on, then. Can you help me, man?
Well,
Please.
no,
You don't never do
no, I
that.
can't,
Why you
I
got
can't
the-
talk to you about it because I don't have the what is it?
No.
Yeah,
You
I
want
keep
this?
getting
What you want, man?
Yes, I'll keep you.
I'm gonna tell you what I'm gonna do.
Wait, okay.
I'm gonna tell you what I'm gonna do for you.
Okay.
Since you put me on Front
The
Street,
East Side Express.
between 9 Friday, you
East
gonna
Side
have
Express.
some.
No, I want it on the show so we can have it so the people can see it.
Okay.
I want the people to see it. They,
Senator, I
can't-
need your help, Senator.
They can't. They can't have none, but they can look. Yeah, it's the East Side Express restaurant, and of course, and I've said it before, I am not a big fan of stir fried and things without meat in them. As a matter of fact, this stir fry that they prepare
It's off the chain.
is so good
It's off the chain.
that you don't even think about the meat. For those of you that are carnivores, some people are not.
Hey,
Some
him
people
right
are
for him,
vegetarian. Yeah, some people are vegetarians. You know, those of you who like the meat in your food, you can eat this, and you don't even think about it.
Sure don't.
It is just that good.
It's delicious.
Eat it, and you don't even think about it. And you can find this. It's $8. It's $8 for a meal. $8 for $8 for the stir fry.
Yeah,
All right.
but it's so much there that you can get. We just hooked on stir fry, myself and Mary Bother and the senator.
It's a full menu though.
It's a fin-
It's a full menu, but I like the stir fry, and
Secretary.
the place is called East Side Express Restaurant. East Side Express, and it's at 1950 State Street in East St. Louis. And I like to promote other areas other than the city.
we got to
and
do
so,
that.
one time, Gordon Bush, the mayor of East St. Louis, told me, he said, Mayor, the best view of St. Louis is from East St. Louis.
He say it again now.
He said the best view of St. Louis is from East St.
Okay,
Louis.
okay.
So we have to we have to embrace East St. Louis, and we have to promote them just like we promote ourselves. So it's the East Side Express Restaurant. They're 1950 State Street, East St. Louis. If you want to call them, you can call them at 618-857-2548.
That food's good.
618-857-2548.
So brothers and sisters, just be patient with what we're doing. We want to try to get some shout outs to some black businesses. We want to talk about Rise and Shine. Can we talk about Shoe Shine?
Please, okay, go ahead.
I want to look neat by my feet
Got to get it in.
when I hit the street. And ain't nobody, hey, that's what Mike called it. And you know something, the thing about it, brothers and sisters, we're not just saying this. When you come off Rise and Shine on St. Louis Avenue and Grand, when you get up, you absolutely don't need no mirror. Your shoes are the mirrors. That's just how he have it. It looks like glass. I'm sorry.
And you really don't want to move.
No, you sure
Because
don't.
you don't want to mess it up.
And you watch how you walking. Hey,
Right.
hey, councilwoman, you be tipping. I know you leaving out, but you be tipping out the door, looking. You want to make sure when you get in the car, you watch how you put your feet in there and stuff, because your shoes look so good. Yes, ma'am. The senator gonna walk you out so we can get started the next. You gonna
walk out.
Okay.
Senator can ready to do the interview.
You wanna do what? Okay.
I got it. Thank y'all.
Okay, now.
You're
Thank
welcome.
you.
Nice meeting
It's
you.
okay.
Yes, ma'am.
What's your name?
Robert Rubin.
So we about ready? What we doing?
That's Senator Carla May, Rob.
Uh-oh.
You say you're getting involved in politics. You want to get close.
Put your earphones on. He said we got a farm interview.
Oh, somebody
Yeah,
on
I'm
the
getting
phone.
ready.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm getting ready to do the interview. I
Okay.
mean, we'll talk, but we can.
We gonna do it together.
Well, we don't need them no long. Sandra got hers on. I'll let Sandra put hers on. I'm just going.
Is she on the phone already?
Brothers and sisters, be patient with
Are
us.
you gonna start
Be
us on
patient
the-
with
you
us.
gonna bring-
We're gonna test this to make sure she can hear you all right.
Okay, and you gonna bring us into the next segment? Yeah. Okay.
Well, Mayor's gonna bring you in.
Yeah.
Yeah, he gonna bring.
I just wanna, let's see, I wanna make sure that you can hear her and that she can hear you. Okay, I think she is
Melody
there.
Prince,
So if you wanna talk to her now.
Yeah. Can she hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, let's
I
go.
can't really hear her good though.
You can't hear her?
Say it's some feedback.
Oh, okay.
What's your
This is Coach,
this Coach Melody McClendon?
Coach Melody.
Yeah, it's garbled.
You don't need to use McClellan. Just Coach Melody is fine.
It's garbage.
Can you hear me okay?
I could turn your
Okay,
headphones off
here.
if you can't. She's too low.
Wait a minute, no, it's not
No,
that she's too low. It's
no,
the
she's
feedback in
talking
the
about
microphone.
buzz.
It's a
Sound.
lot of buzz in the
What
microphone.
is that, Ruger? You know,
It's just it's coming from that end.
Feedback?
Yeah.
It's feedback.
Is there anything you do to help them over there, get?
It's like static. Yeah, there it's still static. It's static. Even when I'm talking in the microphone, I hear the static on this side.
Okay, let me, readjust you. Oh,
And you want me to refer to you as Melanie?
Coach Melody, please.
Coach.
Coach Melody.
Coach Melanie.
Coach Melanie. Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't hear you. That's why I'm saying. That's why my microphone jacked up. Well, nice to meet you officially, Coach Melody.
Nice to meet you as well. I wish I could see you guys, but I did not. I didn't know enough in time. I didn't know in enough time to get there today.
Oh, that's fine. You can also look on. You can pull it up on Facebook at what is it? Is it STL News airing right now? Or who is it?
Rob, what are we on?
YouTube.
And also, what
You can go to Facebook and type in Freeman
Also
Bosley
tell her
Jr.
what-
Show
what-
or
what you-
YouTube
what
and
you-
type in Freeman Bosley Jr. Show, and you'll be able to watch it.
She can't hear you. Tell her.
go ahead, give yours out.
Also on rob.ruger at Instagram, rob.ruger on Instagram.
Right. So now, is it these headphones that's messed up for me, or what we gonna do here?
No, but
When we
she's
hear her, it's
garbled.
buzzing.
It's really, the quality of it is really not that good.
All right, she's garbled, so it's like what she's saying. We can't translate her.
Is there any way you could play out your speakers live so we can hear it?
We got some people waiting.
Don't get him confused.
We appreciate you, brothers and sisters, being patient with. We got some technical difficulties.
It's fine.
Rolling with. Matter of fact, let's just keep on talking about some of the businesses. Let's talk about Kay's Kitchen, brother Amar. Until go ahead.
Coach Melody, how you doing?
I am great. How are you today?
I'm good. Can y'all hear her out of there?
Yeah, I would take the
Yeah,
headphones
yeah.
off. 'Cause you can
Yes,
hear it
yes, we can hear.
Yeah, now try it again. Right.
What you have for breakfast this morning, Melody?
For breakfast, I actually skipped it. I was extremely busy. I never do that though. Normally it's oatmeal and
Turn them
banana.
down. Turn them down. There's too much static.
Okay. I'm sorry. One more time, Miss Coach. I didn't hear you.
I said what I actually didn't have breakfast this morning. I skipped it.
Okay.
No, are they gonna be able to hear it on the air?
They won't hear it now, but this is just so you can hear it. I mean, I'm getting her fine. She's fine coming to me.
Yeah, I'm just saying. I know she's fine coming to you, but I'm making sure that when it airs, they'll be able to hear her, right? Oh, okay, okay, that's fine. So all that's good then. Okay, so when Freeman, so Melody, hang tight with us. The mayor is gonna bring us back in.
And she
And
knows it's
then-
Saturday morning. She knows that.
Yeah, it is Saturday morning. It's already Saturday morning, and you getting ready to do this walk at 10 o'clock, and now we're on the air at 8 a.m.
Oh, I'm glad you told me that. Okay, okay, so we have to act as though it's going on at
It's taped. Yes.
that morning. Okay,
That's right.
okay,
Are we ready, Brother Kevin? We got our audience waiting.
okay.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, sister. And brothers and
We're
sisters.
gonna teach you some patience.
Okay, man. Let's go for it. We got 20 minutes. Okay.
All right, let's do it.
Okay, here we go. 5, 4, 3, 2.
Welcome back, St. Louis. You're listening to the Freeman Bosley Jr. Show on KTZ 1600. Hallelujah AM. How's that going?
Hallelujah.
Yeah, hallelujah.
I like that hallelujah.
You gotta get it in there.
You know,
Got-
that's
got
that
to get it
praise.
in there.
Hallelujah.
Yeah, we got Rob Ruger in the house.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
we got Senator Carla May.
So we're going all the way.
All the way.
And brothers Anthony Shahid
Thank
here
you.
with me. And so Carla May's got a guest that she's going to interview, and we want you to really think about this and listen to it because it's extremely important.
Yes.
All right. So today, St. Louis, this morning, this wonderful Saturday morning, we have Coach Melody on the line with us. Coach Melody, tell us about what's getting ready to happen this morning at 10 o'clock. You know, you got this Fam Fun 3K 5th annual childhood obesity. Tell us about this and how it all began.
Yes, we have. And thank you guys for having me on this morning. It is great to share because obesity is an epidemic that our country is experiencing. And September is Childhood Obesity Month. And I came up with the idea to do a community event in order to give back to the city and also to make people aware of what is going on and how we can live better. We're going to have some sponsors that are out. We have Touche Regional Hospital. That's a sponsor. We're going to have tables that set up. So we're going to have free resources to come out. We're going to have music, fun. We're going to move and have a great time. It starts at 10 a.m. And it's not too late to join us this morning. Actually, it's right over the river downtown at Lincoln Park. Kickoff at 10 a.m. this morning.
Awesome. And so, you know, if my listeners were trying to put that in their GPS, I see on the flyer we got 605 South 15th Street, East St. Louis, Illinois. Is that
Yes.
about right?
Yes, and it is in Lincoln Park, and it's right next to the Mary Brown Center, so it makes it really easy to find. Right off the Tudor exit downtown St. Louis, you can get there in 2 to 3 minutes. Very easy to the Tudor exit.
Awesome. So how many people have you know, how long have you been in the fight against childhood obesity? And tell us about, you know, how you got started and what level of participation and how are the youth responding to, you know, the activities?
You know what? I got started years ago. I was a farmer, pharmaceutical rep, and I noticed that we're experiencing a lot of diabetes, high blood pressure, cholesterol, obesity, people not sleeping, asthma. All of these comorbidities actually can be helped with a better lifestyle and really understanding what that is. I did the walk when I first got involved. I'm a health and wellness transformation strategist. So when I started my business, Unwrap You, I thought, what can I do to give back, right? So I thought, they had 3K walks all over St. Louis, but really nothing in the city of East St. Louis. So that's kind of where it was birthed. and it's been growing from the beginning when I had my first one. This is year 5, and we still did it through the pandemic. But the amazing part about it was we had a great participation rate because I was able to impact people around the world, even 2 countries participating, because now we have an in-person and a virtual aspect of the walk. So all that people have to do is that day is walk, even if they're not comfortable coming out because of the pandemic. They can use the hashtag FamFun3K, which is on the flyer that you just mentioned, and it houses all of the posts in one place. And we already have someone on 3 continents walking this year. So I'm super excited about that.
Wow, that is phenomenal. You said 3 continents?
Yes, we have Africa, we have China, and we have of course, the North America, and we have someone walking in a couple of different places. But I was shooting for having a worldwide walk this year, so that's not bad, right?
No, keep shooting for it, because I think that, it's something that's a necessity, especially when you start with the children. If you get healthy children, you'll have healthy adults.
Oh, yes.
And that's how
you
teach, somebody was telling me, somebody gave me a booklet on what they call raising vegan children, teaching your children how to eat plant-based foods and things like that, and healthy diets. And so I think it's essential, that we teach our children that. So if this how many other people can participate? Right now, they can just come over. Is there a cost or a fee? Or, some people want to just bring their children right now this morning. Can they just come over to the park and walk? How do we do this?
Well, honestly, the way that we capture the data properly is for people to register, and we do have late registrations. But if someone really can't register, then yes, come on out, because it's really about the activity and getting involved. And like you said, the obesity is a big deal right now. I was reading an article, and it just amazed me. They said when children go off for summer, it's like having the rate of lack of activity, the rate of weight increases. This pandemic caused a 10-month summer for the kids.
Yes.
That means that when you go back into the schools, and I've talked to multiple teachers, and I've been doing programs with different schools, and the kids have experienced a lot of weight gain, which causes a lot of stress, because they can kind of be insensitive in school. If they gained a ton of weight, that makes you feel uncomfortable, a little bit more insecure. And we can do better with the proper nutrition, physical activity. And like you said, it does start with the kids. And that's why I love my youth wellness and life skills programs, because it really, if we start young and start doing more parent and children, because who shops? The parents shop.
Yeah.
The children aren't the only ones but they do influence what they want. And it's so much easier to actually, for whoever is listening right now, it's so much easier to eat healthier than you think. It is not even as expensive as you think. It's just putting the right foods together and really cutting out those processed foods, all the sugary items, the things that are processed and making us, a fatter country, honestly. Our obesity rate has reached 43%, which is an all-time high for the United States right now.
Right, exactly. So I really do think it's an excellent idea. And, you don't hear a lot of walks that, address childhood obesity. And you don't hear a lot of conversations. But I know that I've heard a lot of conversations where COVID has really, affected people that had those challenges, adversely. So, I mean, this is phenomenal. This gives the kids a way to get involved and fight that obesity.
Yeah. I did want to ask you if you, and maybe you already said it, but I didn't get it. Can you give us some specifics about obesity as it impacts young people?
Absolutely. 1 out of 5 children are actually obese right now, which is alarming. Yeah, that's an alarming number.
Yeah, it is.
Because 1 out of 5. And obesity and overweight, if you look at the BMI chart, it's different. So there's a category of obesity. Severe obese is also, just having the optimum weight, and then overweight. So obesity is at 2 levels up. And it's really something to be concerned with, because, as we have more obese kids, then that means more hypertension, more blood pressure, and all those other comorbidities that I talked about that are mostly found in adults, they're actually finding them more in our youth population now. And what about it is so many young people have gained a lot of weight, and it does start there. And that's why the BMI, which is the body mass index, is so important. It's not everything, but it shows you trends and things that can happen to you as you are exceeding your weight goals, and then all those other health issues come in. So we're seeing a lot more type of diabetes with our youth also. And that's why I chose September, because it is Childhood Obesity Month, and this is something we really need to be talking about. And I appreciate you having me on this morning, because it really is, it's an important topic that impacts us all.
Okay. And Coach, listen, are children just overweight because they're overeating and their parents are letting them consume too much, or what's giving rise to it?
What's really giving rise to it is the fact that when you think about it, people are on the go so much, and COVID, you would think it would slow people down, but we're not cooking at home as much. Kids are eating a lot more. Remember, I talked about processed food, so that's things that are in a package, that's chips and all these donuts and cookies, everything, sodas. There is just so many grams of sugar in soda and sugary drinks. Consumption is huge, and then lack of activity. You put increase in consumption, people are eating way more of their caloric intake, and you couple that with no activity, you're not burning anything off.
I want to jump in. This is Brother Shahid, Coach, and thank you for coming on this morning. I was just sitting there listening and thought about Sister Michelle Obama, and that's one of the reasons she was doing what she was doing when she was in the White House. She made that her
move.
She really did.
That's what her thing was, move.
And when I'm listening to what you're doing, it's really something to be applauded, because like you say, if at a certain age, if the children don't wind up getting it together, they wind up never getting it together, because when you start picking up 30, 40, 50, and 60 pounds, unless something miraculous happens, you're going to get stuck there.
But you do. And then, when she's talking about childhood obesity, that's why we're trying to set up this, in my district right now, this farm to table type thing, and where we're incorporating the cooking classes and how to translate the food and bring it to the table, and how you can grow these things and use it, these natural plant-based things in your food. And because when we were growing up, parents used to cook. You had to sit around the table and you had to eat, and that was the difference. You was eating them greens. You was eating, just good food. And you couldn't ask for fast food, because they couldn't afford it. They weren't buying McDonald's and all of that stuff. You ate at home at the table. And I'm going to be honest, both of my, on both sides, growing up, they had the farm. And they pulled the gardens. My grandmother used to go down and get the greens straight out of her garden. Both of them, get the tomatoes, the greens, the corn stalks, all of that.
And then it was so deep that we could take a tomato, and we would absolutely eat a tomato.
That's right. I have a tomato tree growing right now that I planted outside my window.
In my car, right?
I love
when I get out of here.
And that's really, because I'm going to tell you one other thing that's hurting us too is sugar, but it's salt. That salt is just about worse than that sugar.
Yeah, the sodium.
That salt.
It's a lot of water gain.
Yes.
I got a question.
Well, can I say something to everyone? You all have said a lot, but one thing you said about Michelle Obama, she started the Let's Move program. So if anybody listening knows Michelle, I've been trying to get her to my 3K. Let's get her over to the next one. But I really think what she started to do in that movement was very important, but we have to continue it on. But we have to start in our communities, because that's on a whole larger and a different type of scale. But we can start some stuff right here in St. Louis, in the East St. Louis, and this southern part of the Metro East and Metro Missouri, and really start making an impact on the people that look like us, is what I'm trying to say. Because we really do lack education, which is fundamentally a problem in every area. You have to make sure that we're educating our young people and our families.
Coach, I got a question for you. This is Rob Ruger. with the way the world is designed today, do you think like video games and activities on the inside of the house is keeping the kids inside and trapped inside, and their whole attention is based off of video games? Maybe adding a virtual video game to your event might help bring some of the kids out.
That is a great idea, but absolutely what you said, the video games, but that's a lot of parenting. So let's be honest. You guys just talked about being in the garden and everything. When we were growing up, you had to get outside, go play till the street lights come off. Go get your jump rope. Go get your hula hoop. Go. I have videos on my page, and you can go to Coach Melody on YouTube or on Facebook or Instagram. And I do like little videos with my hula hoop. And it's so easy. And it's things, family, let's get up. Let's take a walk around the block. Let's go to the park. I mean, we have to get back to those fundamental things that were helping us to, increase our movement. That really is important.
Yeah, but what's going to help us, I hate to bring this up, to get back to those fundamental things, I think that people are going to have to start talking about community. And people on the blocks are going to have to begin to fellowship with each other and respect each other's properties and all of that. It's so much going on out here that I see where individuals are not respecting their neighbors. They're encroaching upon their property, and then you're having conflict. We have to get back to that. But another thing that's also keeping parents from letting their kids go outside is the violence, the danger. Setting up video games so you can keep your kid in the house instead of letting them go out. Because back then, when we were going outside to play and jump rope till the street light came on, we didn't have cell phones or nothing. We'll be around the block, and your mama will yell from the porch your name. You better hear your name, be an earshot of that name. You had to be an earshot of that name. You had a problem if you didn't. So we have to change the DNA of our communities and quit tolerating foolishness, and other people stop just putting it out there. Conflict for nothing. But anyway, that's just
I
my
totally
soapbox.
agree. I totally agree. You want to keep your children safe, and you have to be able to take some go to some nice places where you can feel that freedom. And everyone does not have that, and I could truly believe that's true, because I love to hop on my bike and go walking, and it depends on where you live in the freedom, but there are parks and different areas that you can go to as well. But we already know everyone's economic situation is different, so we can't say everyone have the freedom and flexibility to do that. But hopefully, like you said, we have to bring our community back. We have to be able to watch out and look out for each other. And I know that would definitely make an impact. So I'm here to help. This is the work that I do. I am very knowledgeable. I enjoy it. And if I can do anything to help you guys to, brainstorm, strategize, I'm here for that.
That's why I think this event will be a good event, because it's a safe place to bring the kids out and have them enjoy some activities outside. So kudos to you, because this is an amazing looking event, and I'll make sure that I post it this morning before it starts. So you might get a few late comments, but I'm gonna post it on my social media.
Well, tell them if they come, let us know that they came from the Freeman Bosley morning show, right? Okay. So I would love to be able to do that. So yes, and we can highlight that
morning show.
And call them, mate.
We want you guys to come out this morning. It starts at 10:00 a.m., but we want you to be a little bit early. It's early in the this morning. The fight for childhood obesity. We want you to show up at Lincoln Park this morning at 10 a.m., 605 South 15th Street, East St. Louis, Illinois. That's 605 South 15th Street. Well, Coach, we really appreciate you coming on this morning, giving us that update about childhood obesity, and we think it's a great thing, and we definitely, want to support you in this effort, and we're going to post as much as we can.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, go ahead. Say that again.
I said I would like to just say thank you for having me this morning. I appreciate it. And if I can do anything, feel free to reach out to me. I'm Coach Melody on everything, LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, and I would love to have a conversation further. And anyone that's interested in any kind of workplace wellness or executive coaching can reach me at www.unwrapu.com, and that's YOU, unwrapu.com.
Okay, and that's right by the Mary Brown Center again. That's East St. Louis at Lincoln Park. Is that right?
Yes, that's it. We'll be there kickoff starts at 10 a.m. People can come early.
They
We're going to
don't
have
leave out
after festivities as well. Yeah.
Thank
All
you.
right.
Thanks, Coach. Thank
Thank
you
you
You're
very
welcome.
much. Thank you. We really appreciate you, and we wish you much success with your event. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for us to go to a break. You're listening to the Freeman Bosley Jr. Show on KTZ 1600 AM.
Keep it on lock.
Quit.
Playing.
Look at that.
He did it good.
That
Quit
was
playing. I like
unsolicited.
that.
We didn't
Yeah,
have
that
no
was
first
good.
call.
Give me the
Unsolicited.
hand sanitizer.
I thought you said. So, brothers and sisters, we're live still, and I want to say something because I'm really thankful for what Coach is doing. Because, Senator, if you think about it,
Right.
it's like we tell, and because you're hearing it, until we come and do what we're supposed to be doing as a community.
Yeah, quit
And
waiting on
invite-
people to come in and save our community. We
And-
got the resources right here. We can save.
could do it.
Just show a little love. Who used
all
to
we
sing
gotta do,
that?
because if we don't do that,
Show a little love.
we got the children where they can't be normal no more. When you
Right.
tell them that they got to stay in the house because you might be at the wrong place at the wrong time and all that kind of stuff.
Right.
They come up not like us, whereas we jump rope or y'all would jump rope or y'all play little Sally Walker.
Right.
We play
Hopscotch.
We could
Hide
play
and go see.
We could play, we used to put a rock in our hand and sit on the step, and if you hit it, you open up with no rock, you got to sit there, but if it's a rock, you go to the. We made up stuff. We didn't have to have no money.
Made
we could
up
have
stuff.
some marbles. We
And,
could have a yo-yo.
and that's right. And they got to quit using the excuse of being poor because we didn't even know we was
That's
poor.
what I'm saying.
Mom and them, they didn't buy.
That's what I'm
Mother,
saying.
I said mom and them because that's what we used to call them. They used to, always cook food at home. You couldn't really do fast food and all of that.
Yes.
But we still played jump rope, made jump rope out of clothesline. The
That's-
clothesline that we hung the clothes on, that's the
Ain't
line
that
that we
something?
jumped the rope
Yeah.
with. You get me? And so people have to get back to that, and they have to quit waiting on a savior to come to the
Yes,
community
that's a
when you are empowered
Right.
to save your own community.
and especially-
Fellowship with your people and quit doing all this. I'm so tired of
It's- it's
conflict. I don't know
like
what to
We
do.
making wrong look right and right look wrong. We making
Right.
staying in the house, which is wrong. I mean, you can be in the house sometime, but it's like we done confine them like they in prison, like they done did something wrong, and they got to do a sentence.
Right,
and they
but
gotta
it-
say- and
but-
that's not fair for the children
and
because they need. That's one thing. Even in school, Senator, they have recess because you couldn't stay in the classroom all day. You got to be somewhere you can run. Then they will have physical ed. Where they
That's
also
right.
had, so you got to have something for children. You can't have them saying you're gonna stay in the classroom from the time you get there in the morning to the time you leave in the evening because it's not normal.
It's not normal. And you have to understand too, my seniors are not sitting on the porch
That's
like they used to.
That's not
and
good.
it's a shame they have to be confined to their houses because of the gun violence. You know the person next door to you shooting a gun. I'm telling you, we have to stop that.
Yes.
And if they gonna do it, look, I tell people all the time, I'm gonna help you, but you're not getting ready to disrupt, destroy my community.
You're right.
Because we gotta stand to stop all of that. See, we pro police, but we pro bad police.
You're
We
right.
not we don't like bad police.
You're right, sister.
But people have to have somebody to call. Anytime you get a mother who calling the police because her son has hit her, where are we at? What
I
society
don't know
is
what
this?
mama he got, boy, because I'm gonna tell
Right.
you that you couldn't tell nobody nothing because you've been in the graveyard.
Right.
You laughing, I'm
Yes,
serious.
I'm
My heart
serious.
attack.
Me too.
Yeah, hit
My mother, they
mama.
used to say, I brought you in this world and I take you out.
and they meant
And
that.
before I let you embarrass me,
Yeah.
that's right. You
Hit
better
your
not bring no
mama.
police or nothing.
And I ain't saying they always right. Now, just for the record, I'm not saying the mother's always right, but you don't.
It ain't,
you don't.
you
even
don't put
think
your hands
about-
on your mother.
You don't even think. You don't even.
And
raise
it don't
your
matter
voice
if
at
she
your
right.
mama.
What she telling you is right at that moment.
That's what I'm saying.
That's
You just
right.
look-
Until
Hey,
you able to,
hey, so-
most of these people, most of these kids, don't have, I hate to say it this way.
don't say it. You can't. I hate to say it.
No,
The truth.
they don't have a pot to,
That's what my
and a
mama.
window to throw it out of.
That's what my mama said.
You don't own nothing.
Yeah.
And you want to say I'm grown, but you can't afford your overhead. You don't know you're not responsible enough to pay your gas,
They
your
not grown-
electric.
they not grown.
You gotta, you know what I'm saying, put food in the refrigerator. put the toilet paper on the roll and the napkins in the kitchen. You get me? It's a lot that comes with this thing that you want to call adulthood, but yet and still you disrespecting the people that's providing your overhead.
And
Where have we gone? In their house.
In their house.
In their house. And then you think like somebody owe you something. The old people used to tell us to shut up and be grateful that you got somewhere to lay your head. Be grateful that somebody is preparing food for you. And even if they're not preparing it, they got something in the icebox for you to figure out how to prepare it yourself. And if you so smart, you so grown, figure out how to cook. Use that smartphone that you got.
Cook with some food that you bring in the house, too, while you running your mouth.
Right, while you running your mouth.
While you running your mouth.
Right.
I want to hit a black business, Kay's Kitchen. Kay's Kitchen. I want to hit Kay's Kitchen at 3719 West Florissant Avenue. 19 West Florissant Avenue. That telephone number is 314-875-0170. Again, that telephone number is 314-875-0170. That's Kay's Kitchen. This food is really good. We was over there day before yesterday, and they're taking this city by storm. And we got some good restaurants and some good people that pushing these restaurants. I want to call Aries. This is another restaurant. And there's enough of us in the city. You can't say, well, you already said one restaurant. I don't care if I said 15 of them.
Right.
There's enough of them. Matter of fact, I just heard somebody say it, and my secretary just left. Steak and Shake. A sister just opened up a Steak and Shake, and I wish I had the information.
Oh, wow. Let me see that.
Yes, she just opened up a Steak and Shake.
She did a franchise. Okay, that's good.
Matter of fact, it's two. One is here and somewhere else.
Here, let me see. Let me see where that is.
But until I can get there, I want to talk about Aries Ice Cream Parlor and Cafe. Aries Ice Cream Parlor and Cafe. They're located at 5572 Natural Bridge. That's 5572 Natural Bridge. That telephone number is 382-2992. That's 314-328-2992. We're going to push black business around here. You can take that one to the bank. If you don't know nothing else about us, know for a fact, until Brother Kivy Kev give us the signal and tell us we're ready to come back, we're going to be talking about some black business.
I got one.
Come on. I can't tell you ain't saying nothing.
Vanessa Townsend Incorporated. She does makeup. She is a phenomenal makeup artist. So if you need a makeup artist for your wedding, if you need a makeup artist for just a night on the town with your husband, hey, give her a call. Her number is 314-456-2905. Tell her Ron Ruger sent you, and you will not be disappointed.
Say again. Now you go too fast because you know who it is. Slow it up. Pump your brake. If you drive too fast, somebody say, hold up. Pump your brake. Say that one more time.
Her name is Vanessa Townsend.
Okay.
She's a phenomenal makeup artist. Her number is 314-456-2905. Make sure you tell her that Rob Ruger sent you. Again, for weddings, for just a night out on the town, you got a special engagement coming up. Make sure you give her a call, and she'll, as she say, beat your face.
And we're going to hit a few more, and I want to give out some condolences too, Senator. We've lost some members in our community. One, when we get back on the radio, Brother Zaki Baruti lost his mom.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, she was 92 years old.
Oh,
And he's been a pillar in this community. Brother Zaki has worked on both sides. Well, not both sides. He worked in East St. Louis side. He's worked in the St. Louis side and St. Louis County. So when you're talking about somebody doing a trio, this brother here is, and not just, I'm not going to try to limit him to just those areas, but this brother here has been a pillar, and he was also taking care of his mom, Senator. Once or twice a week, him and his brother and family would rotate, take her, and she was 92 years old.
Wow.
We lost a police officer, brother, I believe it's David Miner. Real good brother. I believe he was in traffic at one time, but I believe he had moved over to Area 3 Police Station. Brother David Miner. I'm sorry I don't have his information in front of me. Maybe somebody would send me that information. But Brother David Miner, we lost him. And there's a couple other people I want to talk about. Also, Lieutenant, on a different note, Lieutenant Mayo got married this week. I believe it was Sunday. Lieutenant Mayo got married, so I'm happy for him and his beautiful bride, his queen. They just got married, and we should always be happy when we hear someone just get married, because most people don't want to get married. you say everything done changed. What's good is bad, and what's bad is good. It's like you don't supposed to be married this day, and then you're supposed to do everything else. And up in, I think it was California a few years ago, Senator, they was only giving out license for 2 years, marriage license, because they said they had so many people divorcing that the courts was so much run over just dealing with that alone. They couldn't keep up with it. So they just say, hey, let's do first things first. Like you can do license for driving. Let's just do this for this here. And if y'all make it, you can come back. But we're not going to do it, you know. It's taking the courts to something. That's not natural. So those things are not, like somebody say they don't feed their children no more. They taking them to fast food place. Whether you understand it or not, that's not natural.
Right.
That's not normal. Like you said, Senator, once a week or once a month, we could have got something outside the house. But for the most part, you're just going to eat in the house so you can stretch your food. And Senator, if you didn't get that one, you know, I need you to always help me with the pickles. If you would help me, please.
Oh, yes, you know, we have to do, yes.
You do it better than me.
And I need some more of these. I'm out.
And I put it out there, too, and they supposed to, I didn't give them your number, so I'm going to be honest with you. I did drop the ball, but if you would help me on this one here.
So, you know, we talking about the flavored pickledbar.com. You know, we having an event. I need her to bring some of these pickles over there. So listen, flavored pickle bar, 314-728-8318. There are so many flavors, and if you have not tasted these flavored pickles, you are missing something. Especially, my favorite is the Chicago style, because they go so good with some stir fry. Ooh, I'm telling you. And if you want to, oh Lord, you gotta have them beets. If you ain't never been no beet eater, you gotta try these flavored pickle bar beets. Oh, they are phenomenal. But anyway, you gotta try it. The flavorpickleball.com. Go to it. 314-728-8318. That's right. So you know it's a lot going on. So tell me what's going on in your world, because I'm about to hit this politics.
Well, I've been enjoying life.
You've been enjoying life?
Man, traveling.
Where you been to? Wait. Where you been?
Yeah, they've been flying me all over the
Who was
country. My clients flying
Well,
me
let's
all
talk
the
about when we
country.
come back.
What
Can we
you
talk
do?
about when we
What
come
you
back
do?
on the air? 'Cause you said
Wait a minute, we gotta hit. It's a couple things. Have y'all already hit the resign of the police chief?
Yep, touched on it.
Oh, y'all touched on that, and then did y'all hit the what is this? I was getting ready to talk about the Oh, you know, these businesses trying to move out of downtown because of the Biden. The business is trying to move out of downtown because of that.
What segment is this now?
This segment 4.
We got 22 minutes.
22 and a 10.
Left.
Yep.
Okay. 20 and a 10. Okay.
Okay, brothers and sisters, we're going to
Let's
go
do
back
it.
live.
All right. Let's do it.
5, 4, 3, 2.
Welcome back, St. Louis. You're listening to the Freeman Bosley Jr. Show on KTZ 1600. Hallelujah! AM. How
That's
about
right.
that? All right, then. We're into our fourth segment here, and we were going to talk about some other things. So let us proceed and see what else is going on around here. Carla May, you want to take it from the top?
Well, you know, I was trying to see, you know, we had a lot going on. Y'all know,
Yep.
you know, I know y'all probably already touched on it before I, you know, took the stage.
Took the stage.
Yeah, look, I come to the stage. No, so, you know, I'm just talking about, you know, Chief Hayden resigned today, you know, and so.
This week, you mean early this week.
Yeah, it's supposed to. What is he going?
Earlier this week.
It was earlier this week. I missed it, or did I think it was today?
No, this, you, right, it's
I'm
earlier
late.
this week.
You do it.
We're doing for this.
Oh, that's right. It was earlier this
Yeah,
week.
come
That's
on
right.
now.
Sorry.
You know what I'm saying?
I think
Well,
it's
you know, right. Well, you know, the thing about it is, it was earlier this week, but you know me, I'm just looking at the article today, so I'm saying it's today, you know,
Okay.
because I'm sitting here reading it for today. So, you know, Candy Girl cover, Candy, you know, pick that up, cover it up. But we got to talk about, you know, what other people are talking about too. And, you know, they're writing about it in the papers, and they're talking about, you know, businesses and this considering moving out of the downtown area due to the string of violence that's been happening. So I'm trying to figure out, is this COVID related, you know, activity that's going on down here,
or what's happening?
I'll say this, in my professional opinion, and me being kind of tied in a little bit, social media has really gotten to the point where when we were in the house and we were locked down, it was a lot of communication that normally wouldn't happen. And with social media, there is a lot of communication happening. And now you're starting to see these people that you've had these communications with. And everybody is, don't want to be a punk or don't want to be this, that, and the third. And you're seeing a lot of violence in the street based off of, there he is right there. There she is right there. And now you feel forced to say something. And it's like, it's to the point where it's getting uncontrollable.
Yeah.
It is, and it's a lot going on. But I know that if you look at STL News, they were talking about Peabody been downtown forever. Peabody, Coal Energy, and there has been talking about moving out of downtown.
Peabody Coal?
Peabody Coal been downtown forever. And then the papers say they even contacted the mayor's office and just saying that they've had windows shot out, stuff like that. And they had their prominent headquarters down there.
Peabody Coal
because
been
of
around a long time.
because of gun violence that's breaking out. But I still blame this on people. We need a different gun policy for urban areas, and they want to talk about all of this Second Amendment. This has nothing to do with Second Amendment rights. This has everything to do with being able to control what we're having, because some people are just irresponsible when it comes to weapons.
Some folks just don't need to have a handgun.
They don't need to have a handgun because they don't have any conflict resolution skills.
Right.
And we're getting to this point where this is happening in our neighborhoods, and we have to start having conversations with our family members. This escalation of
it has a lot to do with parents.
It does.
Nowadays, people tell their kids, if something happens, you just get them.
right.
You just go at them. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? As opposed to, like you say conflict resolution skills.
Right,
Oh,
but
that's out the window.
it
we ain't
is.
got time for that. We're gonna resolve the conflict right now.
Right, and remember,
Let's do
I'll
it.
never forget, the incident where, remember the bus driver, the lady that was on the bus, and that was terrible. Where they had the little girl, the mama fighting the bus lady, and had
Brought
the
the lady- brought
and
the
brought
kid
the
up to-
brought
to
the
the bus.
kid up to the bus,
Oh,
and
years
had the
ago, wasn't it,
kid to even fight the grown woman, the
Yeah.
bus lady, without getting an understanding of what went on.
But like Mary said, that goes back to the family. Our family, your mother, my mother, your mother, we knew better than that.
Right.
And until we go back, what it is, it's like normal. When you say what they're doing, Brother Rob, you're 100% right. But they think this is normal.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
The thing that concerns me is that we don't even take time to process stuff.
Exactly.
Like Carla May said, you're going to take your daughter up to the bus to
Ignorant.
fight the bus driver.
Ignorant.
When you say, what happened? What went down?
They don't care.
Tell me, explain to me exactly what happened.
The,
You see-
the parents come up to the schools in these places and they ready to jump
They,
on the
they,
teacher.
and
They
they come
are.
ready.
Just
They
keep it
come
real.
ready, not
And
coming to ask the question, what
No.
happened? I understand my son or my daughter got into this, da 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 da. But no, that they already amped.
And what's
Apple
the
gonna
next
fall
level
from the
after
tree.
they come up there and get whooped?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
But-
But
back
you
to
coming
the-
to bother me. I'm at my job. I'm trying to discipline your child the best way I can without putting my hands on them. And then you bring them up here, and then I got to defend myself, and I whoop y'all. Now what?
Right.
What's the next level? You
Well,
gonna
then
take
they
it to
come
the
back
next
to- yeah.
level?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Well, these people are so ignorant. I'm just keeping it real. Keep it real.
Go ahead.
They do it at a funeral.
Oh,
Right.
no, that's
Yes.
There's
disgusting.
certain
That's
things-
disgusting.
I'm just keeping. It was certain things that we just didn't do. I mean, we was bad. I'm not trying to
Right.
play like
Yeah.
we was perfect kids, but there's certain things we wouldn't do it in the school. We wouldn't disrespect our teachers in front of them. Do you was gonna be in big trouble with the principal. You wouldn't disrespect your parents. You wouldn't disrespect in front of a house of worship. I don't care where you was. You could be at where you think they was passing out the Jehovah's Witness paperwork. Just certain things we would not
And
do.
you
out of
definitely
respect.
wasn't going to no funeral and
You
cut
wouldn't
up.
do. You wouldn't do
and
that.
didn't
and
do
no
that.
no sanctity, no
Right, right.
sacredness,
Nothing is
nothing.
sacred. Nothing.
And you talking about just I remember, I'll never forget this
Normal
though.
stuff.
Let me tell you something. My son was in the 8th grade, and my son, when he was in the 8th grade, he was 6'2" in the 8th grade, and I was trying to figure out. He had a class. It was a theater class or something, and it was a theater class, yeah, and he got a D in the class. So I went to the school. He didn't know I was coming up there, and I wanted to see the teacher. Now the teacher was like 4 foot tall. She was a Caucasian woman, and I asked her. I said, I'm trying to figure out what is it that you have. My son making all these good grades, but in theater he get a D. I'm not understanding. So I told her to help me understand what's going on, and she tried to explain it. And then I text my son and told him, I'm over at your theater class. Get over here. You get what I'm saying? He comes over there, and I look at her, and I look at him. My son's 6'2". She 4 foot tall. He got a hood on his head, and he's quiet. Take that hood off your head right now. I told him, get yourself together. I want you to put a smile on your face and introduce yourself to this teacher. Because I looked at her and I understood that she was afraid of him. But you have to understand. People say, well, that was her problem. No, it wasn't her problem. It was a problem that needed to be corrected. And he needed to. I told her he has a wonderful personality. I say he's a big guy, but he's a gentle giant. And I remember telling her that. And I said, if you get to know him, he has a wonderful personality. But you have to understand that people come from different backgrounds. And it's important to bridge these relationships and not always be, upset. Once I introduced her, he became the teacher's pet. You get me?
I was just thinking about something. I ain't going to take nothing but a minute to say it, but, I paid attention to the role of Good Times because it was one of the first.
Yeah.
I'm talking about videos and stuff. I'm talking about the show, how they started doing things. Because they wanted to make JJ the main character on that, but they didn't want to give the father, they didn't want to give Thelma, they didn't want to give Esther, the mom, they didn't want to give Michael the image they supposed to have. And that was one of the main reasons John Amos left that show, because they start slowly but surely start showing everything negative happening in the community. They was doing that purposely.
Right.
And when they first started, she didn't want to have nothing to do with the show unless she could have a husband. It was one of the first shows they had a husband on that. A Roosevelt husband, because they only had, I think, Red Fox at that time and Good Time. What's the one
Jefferson.
with the Jefferson on? Those were the only two. So she said, the only way that I would do the show, I got to have a husband with children on, and we were going to stay together as a family. When he started telling them, every time they started showing more on, it's dynamite now, like comedy, he was saying, it's too many things we can get out here. But I said that to say, fast forward how they took the black man out of the house. They did a whole lot of stuff to add to this. Not that I'm putting it on them, because we had mamas and stuff whooped our butt and wasn't playing that. But I'm just showing you how things helped aid it and added to this confusion here, because I remember a young brother who they told her she couldn't have a man in the house. I never forget that. I never forget that right now.
But they started that, when they talked about, when they were, first of all, that started because they made it impossible for the African American man to be employed. That's one thing. They went from, slavery to incarceration. Yeah. And so that took
domino effect
took the African American male out of there. But then they wouldn't hire him. Not only would they not hire him, they wouldn't loan them any money. They shut down the banks. They talking about FDR. They cracked me up. I say he the one started redlining. If you look at the law, he the one started the redlining of the banks, to redline communities of color. Yes, if you got to look at your history. Yeah, and so when you look at all of this, the banks are still practicing something. They got laws against the books, but they still practicing this. They didn't start the credit, talking about your credit, until black people start trying to get houses and money to do stuff. So these are barriers that have been put in place that prevent people from moving ahead or moving up with the stupidity of it all. But we have to, save ourselves. We have to grow up. We have to correct and want more, and we have to grab our family and become nucleus family and become close like we know we can be. Yes, it's up to us. There's no savior coming in to save you. No, it's not. You're going to have to do this. And mothers used to find out information. They wasn't the best educated. I remember my grandmother and my grandfather brought their family from Mississippi. My grandfather worked on the railroad. You get what I'm saying? They had high school education, but they were smart. They kids, all went to college and graduated, and they fed them just the way they would in the country. So, being poor is not an excuse for conflict. We have to figure out how to save our communities. We band together, we can do this. If we create the community that I knew I grew up in, where your neighbors were sitting on the porch, if somebody had a funeral, somebody had a death, everybody brought food to that house. You get me? So that they can feed the family in that time of trouble. We have to start talking again. I'm just saying, why? Life is too short. Holding grudges and hating each other. Why? Why? Why are we fighting and killing each other?
Jump on in there, Rob. You ain't got to sit there. Just come on in.
She
hitting it.
She dropping gems.
Yeah.
I have to let her drop gems. It's hard. And then you guys know I be in the midst of the chaos. So I, especially what I do, I film at these nightclubs. I film at different spots. So I kind of see how people interact with each other. And sometimes you already know who don't like each other, and you see them in the same place, and you be like,
this ain't gonna be
time for me to go ahead and get on up out of there, because you everybody knows right from wrong. And if you don't want an altercation, you can leave. Yeah. And there's and you're not looked at, differently because you decide not to engage in something that you got to know yourself. Like me, I know me. I know when it's time for me to move, because I know I might take it to another level. So I'm mature enough to know that, hey, it's time for me to go ahead and move to the left and go on up out of here. And that's the maturity that we as young black men have to have, and we don't. We automatically think that if it come, we take care of it right then and there and handling it. I learned the 24 rule, 24 seconds, 24 minutes, 24 hours. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got to start making decisions based off of, will this affect me? How far will it affect me? You know what I'm saying? Like,
is it worth it? Because if it's not worth it, and you're gonna wind up being in jail for the rest of your life, or the biggest part of your life, is it really worth it? Is it, you can leave, and here it is. That's over with. But most people understand when you're dead, it's gone. Your life.
It is, and then you can forgive somebody later and see them when you grown, and
people have did that, Senator.
And think about the stupidity of the little small conflict. The devil comes to kill, steal, and destroy, and he steal 2 lives. You think you got a conflict? You killed that brother. He done stole his life. Now you going to jail, and he's stealing your life. If you don't go to jail, you're gonna be haunted by it, so it's gonna still steal your life.
In law school, there's a little phrase that is helpful to me all the time. It's, does the utility outweigh the risk? Does the utility of what you're getting ready to do outweigh the risk of what might happen?
Yes, sir.
You know what I'm saying? And if you weigh that stuff, it takes deliberation.
Yes, sir.
You have to weigh things. I mean, you don't rush. You don't rush into things. I got clients that I represented that had been, I represented their families that had been killed by stupid things. Situation where we had one client just took his family out to have a pizza. Wow. All right. After they came from the show, or the pizza place. No, they went to the show. Then they wanted to go get a pizza. So they went to the pizza place. So he gets out and goes into the pizza place. He pays for the pizza. He comes back out, gets in the car, and then he realizes, I don't get all my change. So he goes back in to this pizza place. This lady's in there behind a glass by herself, and they get into an argument. Instead of calling the manager or even calling the police, she calls her boyfriend.
Oh, no, that's...
Okay? So he comes speeding up there, and he immediately comes through the door saying, what did you say to her? What you done? Boom, boom, boom. He shoots him 4 times in the place. The guy goes outside, and he's stumbling around, and he starts wrestling with him. And our client, after he shot our client, wrestles him to the ground because he still got strength. But 4 shots, you start wearing down real quick. Right. Then he shot him some more. What was that all about? Because your girlfriend called you and you going to rush up to do something to somebody,
And you don't even know what happened.
you don't even know what happened.
It just tells you about that social media post that was out there. Remember in the stadium?
Oh,
The
yes.
girl and the guy
Yeah.
got into it in the stadium, and the guy stood up to, defend the honor of his girlfriend or whatever. But at the same time, you don't know what's going on.
No.
You get me? Sometimes you can say, wait a minute, and then tell her to calm down. Let's all
She's
just
behind
take
the
a
glass,
breath.
so she's safe.
Right.
All right? There's no need to go rushing up there.
Right.
And that's a hard deal. You know what I'm saying? Like, you in a spot where you got to take up for your girl. And I ain't talking about yours, but as far as the stadium thing, it's like you there, somebody disrespect your woman. What do you do? Like, you can try to calm her down, but most times that's not going to happen.
Well, but what about if she is the instigator, though?
That's a
And most
problem.
times that's probably
Yeah, that's a
because
problem.
we laid back. We ain't really tripping
Right.
on nothing, but you not finna
Right.
say nothing to her.
Right.
I
Right.
don't care who I'm with. You are not finna say
But
nothing
at the
to her.
same time,
Yeah.
you get what I'm saying? You have to say something to her.
True.
See, if you care about her,
Well,
and if she
you're
didn't
a
get
man-
too drunk and belligerent,
and if
you
you're a
have
man-
to
But she
say
don't
something
have to be
her.
drunk and belligerent. She just like
It could
that.
be like, right,
It
but
could
you
be
have
him
to say
just
something.
Because
Right.
it's your
what do
life
you
on
do
the line.
when
not-
somebody else is just tripping?
Yeah, but see, but in that case, she slapped that man.
Oh yeah.
And so you.
Oh, you talking about that one video from the
that
stadium?
video from
Oh
the
yeah.
stadium.
See, now that
That was a whole different
That's a
thing. Now he
violation.
stood up, but she slapped him. But he didn't put his hands on her after she slapped him, though.
But he looked like he was about to. He faked out,
He wanted
and
to.
then the guy jumped in, and he had to do what he had
But
to
it's
do.
like Carla May said, we don't have conflict resolution skills.
That's right.
You know,
That's true.
and this is something that parents need to teach kids, and you don't have to get into the real dynamics of it, but you know how to talk to your child about how to handle certain situations.
You do.
You know what I'm
And
saying?
my
And
mom did it through movies. Like, we'll watch a movie together in a situation. Now this is all TV, so
Okay.
Right.
and we'll put a situation to be put in front of me, and then she'll ask me, "What do you do in this type of situation?"
Okay.
Exactly.
There you go.
That's
And
right.
it's gonna show an outcome.
Right.
That's right.
Different. Man,
I do the same thing with my son, though. Situations, I'd be like, okay, what would you think? What do you think? How would you respond? And you tell him how to respond.
I want to switch for just a minute if we can, because Brother Zaki Barudi, he lost his mom this week.
Yeah.
And she was 92 years old, and I want to at least, say something publicly about it, because Zaki's been out here on the front line, but
He has been.
we lost her. And then one of the police officers, too, Brother David Minor. No, we lost him this week.
the
from
30-year
cancer.
veteran.
30-year veteran.
Yeah.
Wow.
from
Had cancer.
And was a firefighter. Help me,
Captain Watson lost his mother.
Captain Watson.
Captain John Watson,
Okay.
firefighter, retired firefighter.
Right, okay.
Lost his mom as well. So we definitely want to say condolences to all of those individuals. They have been very community-oriented
Yes.
people, fighting for the community, trying to do things in the community.
Yeah, the firefighters, there were a couple of firefighters up at my place the other day and mentioned that Bob Anderson
Yes, I remember.
died.
Yes.
Bob Anderson was
Yeah.
president of the Black
I
Firefighters
remember that.
Association for
Yeah.
I remember that.
over 20 years, and they were talking about how he actually changed the culture in fire companies, fire departments across the country.
Yes.
Because he started engaging the firefighters, the black firefighters, in education and training in preparation for the promotion exams. You know,
Right.
he started that, and they matter of fact, they excelled at it because the black firefighters begin to train and organize themselves to the extent where they put on classes
Him and
for the firefighters.
Addington Stewart, and with a couple of
Yep, Stuart Addington. Yep, Addington Stewart.
To give
Right.
our
Yeah.
condolences out there. And I also just
Spike, Big Spike, battalion
Spike.
chiefs, William Jones.
I
Yeah.
want also Brother Captain Clarence Muhammad on East St. Louis, Mars 28 passed. And one other person we call the Aunt Minnie Dotson. So, we have a lot of people that we want to pray for. And we take it very seriously here on 1600, hallelujah, 1600, our Bother and Senator Carla May and Rob Ruger and the whole staff. We wanted to let you know
Yeah.
that we feel your pain because we feel that,
Yeah. Hearts go out.
our hearts
That's right,
go out.
what's go out.
Yeah.
And just to mention that, earlier this
One
week,
more segment.
they brought the Marine from who died in
Afghanistan.
who died in Afghanistan.
Mm-hmm.
He lived in,
Schmitz, I believe
yeah,
his name.
that's right. And so, supporters and everything came out.
Beautiful.
And we got to remember that today is September the 11th.
Oh, yeah.
So we got to talk about,
we'll talk.
I don't know if anybody went
We
to
got
the
one more.
display.
We got one more second. We got the last 5
Yeah,
seconds.
so we can come back and talk about it.
Please,
'cause
can we?
Yeah.
We got to go to
All right, we got to go to a break.
Got to.
All
Yeah,
right,
it's
then.
break time.
You're listening to the Freeman. You're listening to the Freeman Bosley Jr. Show on KTZ 1600. Hallelujah. AM. Keep it on lock.
Quit playing.
Ha!
No, you supposed to. Wait a minute.
Hey, what happened to you, Rob?
Oh, quit playing.
So,
Not this time.
Hey, y'all hear me laugh now. We can't cover for him.
Rob was just I know what it was. He's just amazed at her beauty. He's sitting right next to her, and he's just looking at her. That's him just looking at her. He's just. I say he's what you call captivated. Rob Ruger is captivated. Yeah, he captivated. That's what it is.
You better check with her mom and her son first. I can tell you that.
Oh, my goodness, y'all.
So we'll leave that alone. But brothers and sisters, we always pushing black businesses. Did we find out where that Steak and Shake was, Senator?
No, I couldn't find out where
I seen it
the
on Facebook. I couldn't find it.
What happened?
the young
Steak and
lady
Shake,
did a
we got-
franchise and she opened up a Steak and Shake black.
Oh,
black
really?
man.
In St. Louis?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Well, we need to
Look it up.
find.
We
Yeah,
need to find that out.
my daughter likes Steak and Shake.
I love me some shakes and Steak and Shake.
Steak and
I
Shake.
remember when they used to. Remember a long time ago. I don't know if y'all remember this, but remember Steak
No,
and Shake.
we don't remember that. That's
Steak
cold.
and Shake used to be on skates. Remember they used to come out to
Oh,
the
yeah.
floor on them skates
Yeah.
and used to hang the thing outside the window.
I remember when White Castle used to
They
do
used to do
that.
the same
Yeah.
thing. Kind of remind you when you was going to drive-in theater.
It did.
And they would come out and put the little thing on there where you could
Yeah.
hear it and everything.
That's right. Yeah,
But
my
that, you
dad
know,
used to love taking us to drive-in theaters.
it
Everybody
goes
be in the
back-
car, and you bring your own sandwiches and food.
It goes back to the old days. We really enjoyed ourselves when we were growing up. And I'm just being honest.
We
Like,
did.
children is not really getting a chance to be children. And really,
They not.
like you said, we didn't have money, man. But we could play marbles. We could play yo-yos. We could play jump rope. We could play bowler bats. We could
Yeah,
play
all that
jacks.
good
It was
stuff.
so much stuff. We could, as I was telling Sir, you could put a rock in your hand, put it over it like this.
And I don't
They
remember
touched the
that
hand.
game.
Oh, I remember that rock in the hand. You go to the next step. If you
Yeah.
did, two
that
cup
was, that's 100
Yeah,
years.
no, you don't remember that game.
hide and go see.
Yeah, that's because you put the hands behind your back.
Yeah, yeah.
And then put them
They come back
in
like
front.
that. Yeah. I know what
right.
they go back, chicken, go back. The roosters on your track. That's when we was
Oh,
playing
my
hide and go
God.
seek.
Oh.
And if you're getting close, they started saying, "You better." But we have fun hide and go seek.
Stop kidding me.
Yeah,
Especially depending when you go hide and go seek.
I remember we used to play catch a girl, kiss a girl. Hey, let's know something else. Yeah,
Yeah, we
boy.
used to play that too.
Everybody used to come out the house for that.
That's right. Everybody used to come out.
It'd be quiet. We'd start announcing that. Everybody coming out.
Then the mamas be saying, "Hey, them license up, time to get in now."
But we used to play run across. That was a little form of football. It was the whole block on the street.
He cracking up. Hey, Kevin kept cracking up over there. They keeping it too. Hey, brothers, sisters.
But
you see,
I'm
we keep
telling
it
you,
real on
baby,
this
the
show.
best thing was that double dutch, boy.
Oh God, I used to
Double
like to.
Dutch.
I used to like to watch it.
Yeah.
Them sisters
We
be
used
in
to
there,
do the
boy. They
single.
jumping back and forth. Yeah, no.
You know what? I might have me. That's what I'm getting ready to do.
Yeah,
Right. I want to see that.
Do they have any
You know what
double
I'm
Dutch
doing?
contests?
That's what I'm finna do.
Well,
You
okay,
just said,
well,
so I'm
I'm
getting
gonna
ready
say
to do
that,
it.
yeah.
You read my mind.
They'll come from all over to
That's
get
right.
into
We
that.
finna do us some
And them
double
girls
dutch.
be doing like that.
And what you could do,
Yeah.
Carla May, you could have it in certain age groups.
I am. We gonna have.
Yeah.
We gonna set it up like one of those little. Yes, we gonna have us a double dutch contest.
Yeah, certain age
Yes,
groups.
let's
I'd
do
like
that
to see some
double dutch.
old. I'd
And
like
you
to see
know
some
what?
old girls get out there and jump that
I'm doing
rope.
some double dutch. 'Cause and then it's like it's real make it a part of Michelle Obama move.
Yeah.
But I
Oh.
want to, you know what I'm saying? I want to, I'm doing it on my birthday. I'm having double
We
dutch.
ready
Double
we ready for the last
dutch
segment.
Double Dutch.
We
You
ready for the
ready?
last segment.
All right now.
Yeah.
10 minutes, man.
Okay, let's do it.
Yeah.
10 minutes.
Coming up in 5, 4, 3.
Welcome back, St. Louis. You're listening to the Freeman Bosley Jr. Show on KTZ 1600. Hallelujah,
Hallelujah.
AM. All right now, boy, we've been having fun. We've been having too much fun.
We have
hot
been having
show.
too much fun.
Talking about this and that.
Now we
and-
got to get serious.
Yes, okay.
We got
So,
Brother Rob Ruger here. So I'm serious.
Look.
I'm really excited about knowing that you're here with us. And
Thank you.
he did a lot of stuff on the red carpet all over the country, you know, when they doing
Right,
big
I
things.
got to find out who this is. I'm sitting
Right.
next to. I don't
This
even
brother
know.
that had over 1 million followers.
Wow.
Over 1 million.
Right.
yeah.
You know,
So he gonna have to throw me some of them.
Right.
No, I'm just
Oh,
kidding.
he's a media influencer.
He's a media influencer. Oh,
He's a media influencer.
I
Yeah,
need him.
that sounds like something, don't it?
And he my son.
Now he trying to claim me. Oh, I'm done. I'm
For a
done.
long time,
I'm
man.
done.
I've
I'm
been
so
with
done.
it, man.
But listen,
Yes, ma'am.
we have a lot coming up, and so while we're even having fun, we have to be cognizant of the races that's coming up next year. What we're facing, we have a U.S. Senate seat that's up right now. We have the state rep seats that are up. All
All
the
of
state
them.
rep seats. We have, we're looking at the redrawing of our lines. So the Board of Aldermen in the city of St. Louis. We got all
Redistricting,
the
yes.
redistricting of the state rep seats, the redistricting of the Senate seat. I myself, all the way with Carla Mays, running for re-election next year. So I need all of you, all of your support,
Yes.
and I really thank you for your support in the past.
ma'am.
But as we want everybody to get involved. This is the time that we need to start teaching our children about the impact that government has on their lives and their businesses. About the laws that are on the books. These laws affect the way you do banking. They affect, whether you
Everything.
have grocery stores in your community.
Everything.
They affect everything. So we need people to really get involved and start just, asking questions. And, we're going to have to get back. We're going to have to mask up and get together
Yeah.
and get out here and figure out, what that's going to look like for us.
And we can't just let it go.
We
You
can't
know
let
what
it
I'm
go
saying?
because
we
that's
sleep
what's
too
wrong.
much.
We sleep too
sleep
much.
too much and slips
That's
back.
what's wrong with our communities because you saying, okay, well, I always say everything matters in numbers. And if you look at just look at the state Senate right now. You have only 10 Democrats out of 34.
Whoa,
You
10.
give me 10 out of 34.
That's deep.
You follow me? And so you need 18 votes to pass anything.
So you ain't got nothing.
So you 8 votes short. You
Yep.
get me? So if you had more of a positioning where you can at least bargain, you get me, and at least more even, that means that everybody's ideology and everybody's beliefs will be able to be, met more equally across the state. So when you're looking at that, and then I always say, look at the if you look at the House, there's 163 members in the House, but what we have, about 19 to 20 African Americans, maybe be 22 out of that number, and you're talking about things that affect, African Americans, things that affect the community. We're talking about lost in contracts, no contracts, statewide contracts, things like this. All of this affects us. Where you talking about why is they not building up my community?
Right.
Well, the tax credits and stuff are not going to your community
Right.
because that's how it's designed. We fighting for that right now, but we need votes. We need your help. You follow me? So that's what I'm saying. Get involved. I started when I was 8.
Yes.
I worked on my first campaign when I was 8. The match was lit. The emotion that I felt picketing, them closing down Homer G. Phillips, the emotion that I felt, how they brought out the dogs, the helicopters, and they locked all of them people up that was sitting around the hospital in them chairs. Do you remember that?
My daddy was one.
Yeah, they went to jail. They locked the
Gregory.
people up, and I was young, looking at them lock them up. It was
Mary
so.
Ross.
That's right, and they're fighting for health care at that time, fighting for access, fighting to be treated by doctors that look like them in their community. This was a black community, and so that decision was made by the people that was elected at that time.
Yeah. Conway.
That's right.
Jim
It was
Conway.
terrible.
Right.
So those things were terrible. So right now is the opportunity to get involved. You have a smartphone. That's what they call this thing. They say it does a lot. You're not even using everything that it does.
Right.
But the thing about it is to research your candidates, ask questions, talk about this. This is coming up. We need you to vote. I knock on people's doors and ask them to vote. So many young people telling me I'm not going to do that. That's not what I'm doing.
That's saddening to me. But yet and still you sitting on
telling
this porch and everything is happening against you.
Yeah.
And
And
you're not
then you wonder why.
participating.
And they wait in the line to get in the club.
Oh,
Yeah,
God.
they wait in the line to get in the club.
I'm telling you.
And that's not helping you. You waiting in line to get in the club.
Wait in line to go buy that weave.
If you can help
Yeah.
us, Brother Rob, because
Yeah.
you deal with so many people. You were talking about this before the senator came about why it's so important to get with the elected officials and things. So, I know you've kind of said that at least once a month you'll be coming in with us. You can come here anytime you want to, but we know we at least got you every Saturday morning, at least once a month.
Yes.
But whichever way you can help the senator get that kind of information out, because like she said, out of 163 people, you only got, if you said 25, you still in loss.
Right.
I mean, you had a big loss. If you talking about even sheriffs, I was talking to Sheriff Betts not long ago, and he said, I think out of about 102 or 110 sheriffs, he's the only black one.
Counties.
Counties, I mean. But the bottom line is I'm talking about where we at, and we need to be able to do better. And then, once we get in there, then they got to do better too, because like right now we got 100% black that's in power. And for some reason, they can't bring, we got to start getting them a list and tell them don't bring nothing. They ain't on the damn
You
list.
say give them a list.
What I'm saying is that they concentrate
report
more on
card.
the presidential elections and, maybe the mayor election and things like that, where they got to really get involved in the things that's going on in the community. Understand that if you're in the city, you got to vote for stuff that's going on in the city. If you're in the county, you got to vote for stuff that's going on in the county, and you got to know who is who and which one. You know what I'm saying?
And understand that Washington, D.C. is 1,000 miles away.
It is, and you got hold up. You got 3 branches of government, and your local government is set up just like your state government and your federal government. Say, for instance, you got a local government. You just had the councilwoman here for St. Louis County. That's your local government. That's voting on those laws. That's going to immediately voting on things that's going to immediately impact you. In St. Louis City, you got the Board of Aldermen. You get what I'm saying? So, you're looking at the Board of Aldermen, which is the legislative body for the city of St. Louis. The mayor is the executive branch, but she still got to get stuff, got to come through.
Checks and balances.
Checks and balances. Stuff got to come through the legislative branch. You follow me? So you got to look at this. And then the people that's elected, your mayor and all those people who appoint other people to all these different boards and all these operating boards that impact you. Mayor, you could tell us about those boards, There's a lot of
absolutely.
boards and stuff that's out here. So when
The same boards are also appointed by the governor. You have a lot of these boards
right.
that we miss out on because we sleep it. Nobody's interested in it, But when I was in office, we had Mel Carnahan was the governor. That's a Democrat. It's different. But we even had people appointed to the cosmetology board,
Exactly.
the barbers board.
That's right.
You hear what I'm saying?
I had
all of those
that's
things.
right. I appointed an African American lady that was in my district. We supported her to be on the cosmetology board. So it's a lot of things.
The board of podiatry.
The board of podiatry.
Foot
That's
foot
right.
doctor.
Exactly.
Every profession is regulated.
That's
and
right.
it's regulated by a board.
It's regulated by a board.
Yeah.
And so it's important for us to educate. You can never stop learning.
Well,
And that's it. And we have to be, lifetime learners. And
Right.
not only that, we got to teach our kids.
Yeah.
We got to teach our kids everything. You got to teach your kids from the start. I used to tell my son, okay, these are the bills. These people right here control the light bill.
Okay.
These people
Okay,
control
there
the
you go.
gas bill.
All right.
You
That's
get what I'm saying?
important.
I remember when he got his job, my son said, can I take a day off? I told him, wait a minute, let's add up the cost. When do you get paid?
Right.
Is, can you cover the cost of your bill?
Yeah, right.
That's how you determine if you could take a day off.
that-
And that clicked with him.
Yeah,
that
makes
makes
sense.
sense. Last but not least, let's make sure today you can leave out now and go to help coach Melanie, right?
Right.
Yeah, you got to help Coach Melody.
If they can do that right now, get ready to go.
kids
She was
out.
over at Lincoln Park, childhood obesity.
Get them kids out the house, y'all.
And then you can see Mary Brown Center, so you know you're right there. And again, I want to give a shout out to Brother Lieutenant Mayo. He got married this last Sunday, I believe it was.
Was that
so
a good thing?
that's a good thing.
Congratulations,
Yeah,
brother.
congratulations, my brother. So we want to do
Right.
it. Man, how we share it? Slow it
And
up a
wait.
lot. Get shut. What?
Watch out.
And
Let
you
me get
want-
to see it.
wait. And we also want to tell them to get to Forest Park to see the flags. They got the flags up for all the people that died in September 11th.
Yes,
Don't
right.
forget
Yeah,
about the
that's
lives
right.
that
They
was
saw
lost
that.
in September
They saw
11th
that. They
and the
saw
people that served and the
Senator.
first responders.
Yeah.
We want to give tribute to them, and we are absolutely taking a moment of silence.
All
Go
right
ahead.
now. Like it, share it, tag it, Follow.
You go too fast.
Come on, man.
Come on.
Like it.
it.
Share it.
Share it.
Tag it.
Tag it.
Follow.
Okay, let me see if I can like it, share it, tag it, and follow. Everybody, like it, share it, tag it, follow. Like it, share it, tag it, follow. Like it, share it, tag it, follow.
Ease on down the road.
He's on down the road. It's the Freeman Bosley Jr. Show on KTZ 1600. Hallelujah AM. Keep it on lock.
Quit playing.
Oh!
Good show, brothers and sisters.
Hey.
We want to thank y'all for being
Yeah,
patient with us,
definitely.
listening to us out, and you know what we do. We keep it real here, and you can see we have big fun here. You know, our senators here, but we're so honored to have brother, and I mean that, Brother Rob Ruger. We are honored. We want you to feel welcome.
Yeah.
We would like you to be here every week. We really would. But if you can at least take 2 weeks, because this is good for us and it's good for you.
Thank you.
You know, because we keep it real. A lot of times people can't come where we at because we keep it too. See, the senator ain't here was every week. So she ain't here to do this right here. He like to fish, but if ain't somebody here to bring it on in.
Yeah, gotta bring it on.
Oh
in.
yeah, we're gonna be in some trouble because me and Mary Bob, we wait
We
with.
drill down.
Yeah, you know.
We drill down on it.
So
That's what's up.
can you help me turn my machine off over there, my brother, over there, because my secretary is gone
I got you.
and we still live. He's gonna take us off of here live.
And she said, take that,
Senator, can I get your number?
yeah, he said, take that
I want him.
home.
Okay.
She
She
said
did,
she'll get it
okay.
from you tomorrow.
Okay.
That's her phone
Okay.
on
Yes,
there.
ma'am. Okay.
You
Would you
wanna
tell me?
take a tripod,
Yeah,
too?
that's what we do.
Yeah,
That's what
he
she's
gonna
telling.
do that.
Okay.
Brother Rob was closing us down. Thank you, brothers and
Yeah.
sisters, for listening. Assalamu
Absolutely.
alaikum. Senator, you want to wave at him?
All right.
Can you share? Can you share it and everything? Yes. Brother Rob,
Yeah.
since he's a media guru. Oh, we closed out, brother Kevin Kev.
It is posted.
Oh, we closed out, brother Kevin Kev.
Yes, sir.
You gonna
Just
do-
down the,
Double check it 10 times. Senator, no,